is a forgotten rule of wrestling. Is throw your opponent over the top rope, the referee throws out the match. There is a common misunderstanding that Bill Watts created this rule. In reality, it was something that his generation was taught and grew up with. It used to be a blanket rule throughout wrestling. Nearly every form of wrestling was limited, if you recall, was limited to a marked out arena. Wrestlers were banned from competing outside of that zone. When pro wrestling moved into the rings, the ropes would become a boundary marker and a safety mechanism. The ring was essentially a raised platform. Tumbling from it presented a risk of injury to the wrestlers or people sitting at ringside. The ropes helped prevent this, with leaving the competition area being against the rules. It only made sense that someone who threw their opponent out of the ring will be disqualified. Nobody honestly knows why the rules were scaled back. The most popular assumption is because fans found fighting outside of the ring exciting. Throwing people out of the ring became acceptable, but throwing them over the top rope was still forbidden. Likely because of the high risk to wrestlers and fans sitting nearby. This rule was never formally withdrawn from any company that used it, including the WWF. They all simply stopped acknowledging it. Watts reinstated a rule in WCW in '92. It was made clear that the Battle Royals were exceptions. Only Watts knows the true reasons behind his decision, but plenty have been willing to submit their own answers. The rule was hated by fans, wrestlers, the broadcast team, and even management. The first problem was that Watts was trying to bring the rule back when Battle Royals were quite common. It didn't make sense to ban an action that was frequently encouraged. It was also a time when there were more and more wrestlers were using top rope moves, dives, and planchas. So it was hard to judge why performing moves over the top rope was okay, but throwing someone out wasn't. The concern was safety. Fans weren't buying this either. More and more athletic commissions regulated that there had to be protective mats surrounding the ring. And, well, companies like the WWF were doing it as a common practice. The worst thing about Watts' rule was that it happened too often. Not always intentionally. Fans hated that the matches could end so suddenly over what they called as something what they considered it to be so minor. Not only that, but it sometimes happened because wrestlers were not used to the rule. The referee was in difficult position when this happened. Does he enforce the rule and ruin the planned finish to the match? Or does he pretend it didn't happen while the confused announcers tell viewers at home it did? Like it did everywhere else, the rule went away quietly without even ever being withdrawn. A forgotten rule. How about that? Some old school wrestling for you. NWA rule that's been around forever. Hope all is well. Look forward to speaking to you guys very, very soon.